Goku, his friends, and Time Patrollers have done their part to bring order back to history. With peace restored, Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 comes to an end.
Hello everyone, it's me again, Steedoj here, and I did want to talk about one thing, because after the Bandai's disappointing E3 showcase, it did actually maybe like open up my mind a bit more to things on the past. So I was like, let me go back through some Xenoverse stuff and check some things out. And I remembered the I don't remember which DLC it is actually, because there's just so goddamn many now. I think it was 12 or 10. But the DLC of Majub and Android 21, there's something very important at the end of the Majub one, where it specifically says the end of Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2. And that's fine. People could say, well, that was a lie because there's more DLC now. But I think they genuinely meant it. Like, I think the only reason why we got extra DLCs is, you know, when a game is ended, they'll still do, hey, here's some more stuff, here's some commemorative stuff for the game, you know, etc, etc. And Bandai probably is confident in Xenoverse 2's ability to still make money, but not in an ability to probably make an entire full game. Maybe Dimps can't really do that right now because they're working on other projects at the moment. Maybe Bandai didn't contract for a third game. I don't know what it is, but the main thing I wanted to talk about was how that probably was supposed to solidify how there's no more Xenoverse 2. That DLC could have sold horribly or amazing, and would have probably still got the later DLCs coming up. As you guys would know, even other much older games like the Naruto Storm game, they had a super late DLC into its life with Momoshiki and Kinshiki, I believe. So I wanted to talk about that. I know obviously it's a bit out of the blue to just say, oh yeah, maybe Xenoverse 2 is done. Maybe there's no Xenoverse 3. But at this point, I feel like Bandai kind of has like nothing. I don't want to say they have nothing to show. That's unfair. But I want to say that they probably don't have as much guns as they used to before, if you know what I mean. Like, I know obviously COVID hitting slows like a lot of processes down for a lot of companies, but they haven't actually been that amazing with their Dragon Ball track record recently. You could say, oh well, Fighters came out. Street Fighters is an amazing game. That's true. Fighters is a good game, but it's also a fighting game. And I'm not saying, oh, fighting games limit the amount of people that would play it, because any game would do that, right? Any game would do that. But fighting games do demand at least a certain level of technical skill when it comes to the game. You do have to actually beat something on sort of equal terms. Even worse if it comes to online. Fighting games mostly live on their online. It's not like a game like Halo 3, for example. Yeah, let me use Halo as an example again, right? It's not a game like Halo 3 or Halo 1 or Halo 2 where you can boot up that game and play the offline for just hours on end. Just do whatever you want on there, right? It's not even like another game like God of War where it can survive on its single player because it's an action adventure game. Those were meant to do that, as well as not having a ridiculously high skill ceiling like a fighting game 2. On top of that, that's something that action adventure games can kind of get away with. But with fighters, it's like the only thing you can do offline is an arcade mode when the enemy gets so ridiculously unfair that the high skill ceiling thing comes into effect again, or the story mode, which is boring. The first time you play through it, it's boring. So on replay, no one playthroughs the story in fighters. And Kakarot. I'm not saying Kakarot's like a crap Dragon Ball game or a bad one. It's just a little underwhelming, not disappointing, not bad, underwhelming. Again, I mentioned this in my last stream. There's a difference between disappointing and bad. And I mentioned underwhelming there as well. But underwhelming is when I wouldn't say something is disappointment would suggest that you came in with hopes. Hopes were not met, therefore you're disappointed. Underwhelming would mean, it wasn't as good as I wanted. I mean, obviously, we all hold games to like a ridiculous standard nowadays. We all think that the next game that's coming out is going to be the second coming of Christ. Whether it be Sekiro, or The Last of Us 2, or Halo Infinite, or anything. You know what I mean? We all wait for these games to come out thinking they're going to be 11 out of 10s. And naturally, they can't be. But imagination takes us a long way. But even by my standards, I didn't think Kakarot's base game was that entertaining. And you could say it's part of the issue that you don't even play as the titular character for a lot of it. But I also think that they kind of bogged down the game heavily with a lot of cutscenes that weren't needed. CyberConnect is very good at visual flair, so all of the crappy cutscenes we have in Kakarot are a bit disgusting. It's just a lot of cutscenes of characters standing there just talking with text boxes. Maybe they do some generic animations like reused over and over again. Even like, oh my god, if it wasn't for like maybe 2 cutscenes in Kakarot, I would go as far to say that Xenoverse's cutscenes were better, and I don't want to be rude. But there's only 2 cutscenes. Well, actually, thanks to the Trunks DLC, right? Thanks to the Trunks DLC, I would say Kakarot has the best cutscenes in Dragon Ball gaming history. But without that, I would go as far as to say that even something like Xenoverse 2, a game that you guys know I'm not that favorable of, I would say Xenoverse 2 has some pretty nice cutscenes to look at. They're interesting. They don't make you go. And I think that was a lot of people's issue with Kakarot 2. Kakarot, don't get me wrong, it's a very gameplay intensive game. You do have to play the game a lot. But at the same time, there is like 11 hours of cutscene in the game. And most of it isn't even the super good stuff, like the Trunks cutscenes or the Vegito cutscene or any of that. Most of it is stand there and look at someone while the head moves up and down and the characters repeat their dialogue over and over again. Or you flying through the world and Goku saying, "Oh, this guy is a bit dangerous, best to take care of him now." It's stuff like that that made Kakarot a bit more underwhelming. So that's where I wanted to talk about next. I'm not saying that Bandai's run out of faith in Dragon Ball. Obviously not, because they still have Dokkan and Legends, which probably makes them like insane bank every day. But they are probably being a bit more careful what they release console-wise, because they haven't... We're halfway through this year and we don't even know what next year's Dragon Ball game is supposed to be. Now, a lot of people have made jokes that, not next year, that this year's Dragon Ball game is supposed to be. Where is our Dragon Ball game for this year or next year? If there was like a crappy small release of a Dragon Ball game that I didn't know, someone please let me know in the comments. But usually we don't make it halfway through into the year before they tell us, "Hey guys, whoa, we're gonna give you something this year." Like if I recall, Kakarot was supposed to come out in 2019, right? Then it ended up being a 2020 release, and the 2019 game we got instead was Super Dragon Ball Heroes for the Switch or some shit. I don't even remember. So yeah, I don't know how much ammo Bandai has. They probably don't even know how much ammo they have, because it's so weird for them. Okay, you have to have watched the last showcase. I'm not gonna rant about it here. If you guys want to see it, it's my last video. It's got Goku and Gojo on the thumbnail. The title might keep changing though, because I want to just straight up say Bandai Namco disappointment stream, but I feel like leaving the title as it is would show you what kind of expectations I had when I was going into it. I was thinking, alright, Dragon Ball game, maybe a few anime game announcements. You might even be like, "Oh, well, Fairy Tail's ending. Let's make a Fairy Tail game." I hate Fairy Tail, by the way, but it would make sense to do. Financially, there's still a lot of fans somehow. And it would, I feel like it would work, even if it was a small crappy one, like the 7 Deadly Sins game we got kind of recently, right? It could have been a bad game, but they don't even put that much money into it to begin with. So I feel like that could still work. But we didn't even get like anything. Just watch the last video. It's the last video, the last stream. You'll see what I mean. It's so disappointing, and I don't want to be rude. Yeah, oh, don't be rude to the mega companies, Steed. Don't hurt their feelings. They might have to wipe their tears away with their checks. But I don't really think Bandai has anything to show for us. And I'm not saying that they're like... Actually, I'm just gonna keep my mouth shut. But considering Bandai don't even own the Demon Slayer game, because a lot of people still ask me, "Steed, why didn't Bandai show the Demon Slayer game?" Demon Slayer game is not being published by Bandai. It's being published by Aniplex. You know those people that I just remember their name at the beginning of every Full Metal Alchemist episode. That's it. They're not publishing that, so that's not their shit to touch. Now, if that was their shit to touch, we would understand why we're getting no news, because Demon Slayer is a huge IP, right? Demon Slayer could probably put zero effort in, just like Dragon Ball, and get away with it, because it's a massive thing now. Everyone knows what Demon Slayer is. Everyone loves it. Not everyone loves it, but people like it a lot, alright? It's big. So if we were getting just a Demon Slayer game, we'd be like, alright, makes sense. It's a super trendy anime. It had a movie recently that made hella money. It's something that they could get away with, but they're not publishing that. And yeah, that's not going to be a Bandai thing. So we'll see how that game turns out, because the issue with Bandai games is that they usually have bad balance and bad online connectivity. But Aniplex being Demon Slayer publishers, we'll have to see what they do. Who knows? Could be worse, could be better. At that point, we'll know truly if Bandai is the only one that should be making anime games. But so far for now, nothing. The anime game market seems pretty dry, which makes the chance of a Xenoverse 3, it makes it more and less likely. The reason I have to say more is because Xenoverse is a game that people still play. It's a thing that could still work, a concept that could still work. Custom characters in the Dragon Ball universe has been a thing that's hooked people for ages. So it's easily, like, they could run away with it. Easily. Just keep making them. Xenoverse 3, 4, Xenoverse X, Xenoverse 3RD, Xenoverse Strive. They could just keep making fucking Xenoverse games forever. And I feel like it would just work. Because Dragon Ball, big IP, unique fighting style, unique characters. Let's not say unique, let's just say custom. Unique was the wrong word there. Those are things that they can easily get away with. But at the same time, they might think that, I don't know what the sales of Xenoverse 2 were like, alright? I just know that the game sold a lot, and they bragged about it in-game with some stupid glasses. But they might have a sinking feeling that it might not work a third time, because they're just not even attempting it. There's not even any like news or pretend build-up or hype for it. They straight up already said that the game ended a while back, and there's no way that they decided Xenoverse 2 has ended, and then a few people bought the Marjube DLC, then they were like, oh, I guess that's enough reason to make an entire third game. Like, I don't really think... The Marjube DLC isn't like some high-impact fucking Dark Souls DLC where the whole player base gets it, because they want to play the game more. Because the game actually left such a good impression on them that they'll come back to it. No, Xenoverse 2 didn't do it. Xenoverse 2 could never do that. Did you see the online? See how many people left the game in the first year? So, that's what I think. I mean, I personally believe that the chances of a Dragon Ball Xenoverse 3 are very low. Again, like I said, they could run away with it. Could just keep making it and just keep moving. Reason I didn't say a Fighters 2, by the way, or anything like that, because Kakarot, will Kakarot get a sequel? Who knows? CyberConnect, it feels like it took them a very long time to make that game, and to make a sequel to Kakarot would just be the Goku Black Arc and Tournament of Power. The Goku Black Arc can work, but the Tournament of Power is crap story-wise. Even Xenoverse 2 could barely touch that. It just had fucking Vegeta fight Topo. Because Tournament of Power is just a bad arc in general. Way too many characters. How many models would a game have to make to even do any of that crap? So many events that are happening, and the story's not even interesting too. You could barely hook someone if you made the Tournament of Power into a story mode in any game. Fighters didn't attempt it, Kakarot didn't attempt it, Xenoverse didn't attempt it. It's just a bad story. I mean, it's a little upsetting that there might possibly not be a Dragon Ball game this year. That means the well will be kind of dry as fuck, unless if they announce something, I don't know, at a later point, right? Because there's always Game Summerfest and live events and Tokyo Game Show. Who knows, they might do another Dragon Ball Battle Hour. Anything could happen, but the well is seeming hella dry. Because that means the only Dragon Ball DLC I'm aware of, or anything that we can look forward to, is the Super Dragon Ball Heroes anime, which no one, I don't think people think very highly of that. And Xenoverse 2's DLC 13, and we don't even know who either of the two characters who that are gonna be. Because, like, they already added Topo and Pikkon. Pikkon, people have been asking from since day one. I've always thought Pikkon would be a shitty inclusion. I don't think he's, like, as bad as I thought he would be. But he's also not so good that the people who are begging for Pikkon actually give a damn about him. No one plays him. And Topo was the last interesting character I believe they could add because of his unique moveset with Hakai energy and yada yada yada. And as I proved, I was correct again. He nullifies ki blasts that come in contact with his body, and his Hakai is one of the most unique attacks in the game. It destroys all projectiles, it tracks. It's super interesting. And like I said, Topo is the last interesting character I can think of, unless if they just pull shit out of their ass and add random characters in. I don't really think it's gonna work. Even when they wanted to add Z characters in for DLC 5, I believe, it was it was Super Buu with Gohan Absorbed, Tapion, Android 13, and Deborah. I think that's what that DLC was. That was all DBZ characters. And I'm not saying DBZ characters suck or anything like that, right? But they should have been in the game already. Seriously, they're DBZ characters. How are they not in your Dragon Ball Super game already? When they had to add DBZ characters, they had to add 4 DBZ characters because they knew the hype for DBZ characters was not that high. All the important ones were already added, and all of the other side ones, you would have to give like a very sweet deal for people to buy a DLC with DBZ characters now. So for anyone hoping for anything weird like, oh, what if they add like Garlic Jr. And he has this one unique attack, right? That wouldn't sell at all. They'd have to add 3 other DLC characters, and even then, I don't think it would pique the people's interest. The ones they did add, Android 13, okay, cool. SS Deadly Bomber, data input, he could sell on that, right? Deborah, people didn't really care about Deborah. He had Stone Spit, cool, whatever. Tapion, people were begging for Tapion day one, right? Fair enough, they can get away with Tapion. He was just crap. He sucks in the game, no one uses him, so no one cares. Super Buu, Gohan Absorbed, the guy everyone was asking for. Oh, please give us Buu tanks, give us Buuhan, give us anyone, right? Alright, we'll give you guys Buuhan. And he'll have one unique super. And it's crap. And he won't even have a second ultimate. His only ultimate is Super Kamehameha. The same one as every single Goku, Gogeta, every character that can use Kamehameha. Everyone has Super Kamehameha. So him having it was... people were not even hyped slightly. That DLC dropped and people were like, oh, wow, this is kind of bad. So I think it's safe to say that Xenoverse has run out of ammo. There's no other DLC characters they could add. They make Xenoverse free now. That means the base game would have to be so absolutely flames. So god tier. that the game could live on that alone until they can come up with DLC. The DLC I suggested a while back is, just start adding Dragon Ball Heroes characters. It's in the same timeline, right? Surely you can get away with it. It's the same Xenoverse 2 time and manipulation crap. Just be lazy, add combo. People will probably play him anyways because people just like big Saiyan guy who's evil. That's why Broly is popular. That's why Goku Black is popular. Even people still like Turles. People think Turles and Raditz are cool. What? You can easily get away with just adding combo. Just do that. I personally would think Kamba and several of Super Dragon Ball Heroes characters would be crap to add. But that's basically the only thing left because the well is looking pretty dry. But even if they do add them, I'm sure they know that the Dragon Ball Heroes fan base compared to the Z and Super fan base is very small. And it's too big of a risk to take to make all of that and have like, I don't know, 100 people buy that DLC. I don't know. I don't feel like they would risk something like that. Now, obviously, people are going to say, oh, but Steve, what about DLC 13? DLC 13 could have an announcement. I feel like DLC 13 will just be another End of Z thing. And let's be honest about it, right? If DLC 12 had the future Gohan mission in it, where he has to fight all these Janembas, obviously DLC 13 is going to have a Bardock mission, because Gohan and Bardock are the two main factors of Xenoverse 2. They're supposed to represent the past and the future. They're the two main factors of Xenoverse 2 that the players had any control of. They didn't have control of anything else. And as a player base, we voted that Trunks should allow Gohan to keep living, like live his life. Trunks is allowed to go back in time and body the androids to save future Gohan, instead of just leaving him for dead. And that's why he showed up here. And most players actually voted that instead of Bardock being destroyed in the time collapse of his battle with Mira, he just probably got shoved into a different timeline. And that's what we got told in the game. Supreme Cap Time told us, oh yeah, seems like the majority of people thought that Bardock got flung into a different timeline and he's still fighting elsewhere. So most likely, DLC 13 will be a Bardock story as well. It's probably going to be 2 story modes, because the last DLC was a Dragon Ball Super thing, which was Vegeta versus Turbo. And then it also had Gohan versus, it had Gohan and helping Trunks. So I'm assuming the next one also have a Dragon Ball Super thing, but I can't think of any moment in Dragon Ball Super where you could add that. They already did the Universe 6 tournament. Arrival of F and Battle of Gods have already been done. Goku Black has already been done. Unless if it's like Bardock helping to fight Copy Vegeta. Or some shit. I don't know. You can, I don't think there's anything to work with. The most I could see them doing for a DLC 13 story, maybe, is that we have the Bardock side of the story, and we have the Dragon Ball Super Broly side of the story. Because they've at least touched the Tournament of Power story-wise. They've at least touched it. The rest of it is so bad that there's nothing to work with. But Dragon Ball Super Broly is still there, even if they want to pretend the characters aren't, because Dragon Ball Super Broly and Gogeta just got added to the game with like... yeah, Gogeta has Super Kamehameha, and he doesn't have Soul Punisher at launch. He has a crappy ultimate, and he has a dogshit super attack. Fuck it. Like, Dragon Ball Super Broly is still something they could work with. I could still easily see them doing a Dragon Ball Super Broly story. Alongside the bot. Maybe Bardock will show up in Dragon Ball Super Broly, right? Who knows? They always jerk off Bardock's strength and all these specials. He'll probably be strong enough to help. But, yeah, other than that, I don't think there's much else to say. I'm really sorry, by the way, if the green screen background doesn't show anything interesting. Because, like, I can only find so many images to shove behind me and play at a time. So, I'm sorry. Okay? Who knows? The green screen might not even fucking work with my lighting. It might just start acting up, so I'm sorry for that as well. But, yeah, I don't think there's anything else to go further with this subject. I said my piece. I don't believe there's going to be a Dragon Ball Xenoverse 3. I don't think DLC 13 will be the last DLC either. I didn't say it. I hope I didn't say it at any point in the video. But, there's not really much to work with for Dragon Ball at the moment. So, I mean, they could give us another Kakarot game, which goes over the DBZ story again, but I feel like people would actually be sick of it, because Kakarot is probably the most high-budget interpretation of it. I don't want to say the best, because everyone has their own opinions. I like the way Infinite World handles the DBZ story a lot, and that's a fucking PS2 game. I'm not saying it's as good as Kakarot, but they both have their moments. Whatever, you can call me an idiot or an asshole in the comment section for comparing a PS2 game to Kakarot, but Infinite World, I think it did a very good job of handling the story and how much of the story you get to play, as well as the cutscenes and so on. But yeah, again, I think that will be the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you enjoyed it, and obviously, please leave a like on the video and subscribe, as it greatly supports the channel. Leave a comment down below what you'd like to see next. Don't forget to check out the links in the description if you want to follow me on Twitter, or give credit to the channel intro, though, yeah. Again, hope you all enjoyed, love you all, and I will see you all next time. Take care. Peace.